And then all of a sudden, my friend goes, he ran out the back. He jumped out the back window, went in the backyard, hopped over a huge like cement wall, and then his car picked him up, and we tailed him all the way back.
Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang. BFFs after this, right?
Yes. Well, actually, I'm going to switch that because unfortunately, the guys got sick, and we were going to do like a thing with all of us. So I'm going to just like do it another day.
Got it. Yeah.
But KFC's all I need right now.
Let's go, baby. So we got it. I got so many things to talk about.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
We got a lot.
Have fun.
You are part of one of the greatest cut downs of my life.
Yeah,
greatest.
Like the reason why he is the man he is today, and I say that meaning like incredibly anxious and nervous and no self-esteem. It's your fault.
It's one of the greatest.
The reason John is like that?
Yes. Yes.
Why? What is the deal?
It's the one. It was like really. It is. So I was dating this girl who worked at Barstool, not in content. She was like she worked marketing, I think, and she loved Impractical Jokers, and it made her laugh so hard. And like that's my thing. Right, like that's the one thing I bring to a relationship is I make you
Impractical
laugh.
jokes.
Everything else is like I'm subpar at. I'm not good, but I can make you laugh.
You have a glow about you. Really, you have a great energy. You have a nice teal shirt. You seem like a great fellow.
It's not gonna work. Trust me. I tried to build them up for years. It's not working.
I mean, you're talking, and it sounds like the way I talk about myself. So
we all do this for ourselves, right? Yeah.
And one day we were fighting, and I was like, will you just turn this off? I was like, oh, she's off right? And I was like, will you just turn this off?
You had enough of it
because she was laughing so hard. I was like, can you just turn it off? You're not even that funny. And she goes, you guys at Barstool are all like this. You're just jealous because they're funnier than you. And it was the most.
She pitted
knife to the heart.
I went.
Oh my God. She pitted us against each other.
I was like, yeah, you're right. We are all like that, and it's because we're not as funny, we're not as successful, and it makes me fucking sad because I'm supposed to be the one who makes you laugh.
Funny man.
What's her name? Let's talk directly to her.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, she's not here. She's been gone.
I just wanted to offer some kind words.
Well, this is also the same girl that then he cried in front of her at the movie Miracle, and the next day she broke up with him.
We're more alike than I thought.
And then
I cry like a Pep Boys commercial. Yeah.
Dude, I cry all the time. Insurance commercials get me.
Oh yeah, I swear.
Dude, it's wild.
Once I became
it's
a dad,
too much I cry. I think. But I do cry.
Have you always been a crier? Because once I was like, whatever. I was probably more on the emotional side, but not too much of a crier. And then once I had kids, anything like kid related, I'm a puddle.
You just get it. Yeah, right.
But I'm weird in that I don't cry the stuff I'm supposed to cry at. So I don't cry like at sad, like genuinely sad,
like real life things won't make you cry.
Right. I wore sunglasses at a funeral because I wasn't crying and I was embarrassed.
See like a dog get hit by a car and be fine.
Yeah.
Right,
that was crazy.
But then if like they score a goal in overtime, you're.
Remember the first time crying after scoring a goal in overtime was BC, Michigan, in like the Frozen Four, and like, and I was like 8 years old. I started crying. I was like, "What the fuck? Sports can make you cry? this is crazy. Why do we do this?"
Yeah.
The other thing is, I was just listening to you on Santino's podcast.
Oh, right on.
And I know what I love about.
Text me on this immediately.
What I love about Santino, and you even kind of mentioned this at the end of his podcast. He's always joking. Like it's not even. I appreciate a good sit down interview where it's interesting, but it's just always jokes and bits and lies, and usually you can pick up on the lot. His voice changes, and he's being silly.
Yeah.
But I hook, line, and sinker bought that you don't pee for days at a time.
Oh yeah, no, well that is kind of true. Yeah.
Wait, okay.
All right, because so I texted,
I know. I mean, we went back and forth. The game with me and him, or him and anyone, really is like just
who can one up.
Yeah, just nothing's. It's all true, and just keep and see if we can get each other.
But
that's why he's the best to do the
when
positive.
you, like I said, usually I can tell, and that just sounded like a real admission from you.
Yeah, no, I pee like I'm lucky if I pee once a day, but usually it's every other day or something like that.
Sal,
right?
And you said how many minutes is your pee?
Well, that was a little bit of like because I looked up how many times I'm supposed to pee because I was like, okay, so this is what happened. So one day I was just like, I just feel like everybody's pissing more than me all the time. Like if I go on a road trip, like I could drive from here to Boston, I don't need to pull over. People are pulling over at every restaurant, and I'm just like, why do people pee so much? And then I was like, well, maybe it's me peeing so little. 6 to 8 times a day we're supposed to pee?
That's a bit much in my book. I think 8
I was
times.
gonna say I've already hit 4 today.
Have you really?
He drinks a ton of water.
So I did 1 today.
You drink water?
I do drink water. Yeah, there's a water here. I'll drink it.
You've done 1.
Watch. Yeah. Don't tempt me. I'll drink it. And I'll pee Thursday. No, and I because I do it a bit in my act, but it's like, but I pee every other day for like 6 to 8 minutes. You know what I mean? But I do pee a long time. I probably peed longer than your 4 pees today. Is like combine them, you know.
See, that's what I'm glad you're using the word pee, because I told Kevin that when he texted me about it. He's like, we should bring something to Sal, and I was like, look, if Sal is peeing for
6 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done saying I gotta take a piss, because I don't piss, I pee. In fact, I pee. Yeah. But Sal fucking pisses.
You notice I don't know how to work this thing. I've been like wrestling with it. I'm like, is this fine? I just okay. I'm like, I don't know. No, I figure piss is a little bit of a harder. You know, I say piss too. Yeah. I was in a pee mood today. I said pee.
Yeah. I'm giving off pee energy.
Yeah. I knew that I could say pee to you. Kindred spirits, you know. Let me tell you,
there are pee guys and piss guys.
After this.
There are pee guys and piss guys in this world.
You can tell by that shirt. He's a pee.
But yeah, I think it's dangerous what's happening to me with the piss.
Yeah, that does not sound healthy. Is it? I mean, I don't want to get TMI here, but is it like a normal color?
I think it's a mental thing. It's orange and sometimes it's green, blue. No,
a little pink in there.
You know what's the weird thing? I think it's psychological. If I'm out and about and I'm busy, I don't pee. If I'm home for the day, I pee way more often.
Your bladder's on like self-defense mode.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, but that's funny that like you thought that because he said stuff like his stepdad was Carl Sr. of Carl's Jr.
Yeah, that was the perfect example. I was almost texting. I texted him about it, and I was saying Santino jokes and lies on purpose a lot. And the example I was going to give, they were talking about Carl's Jr. and he was like, Carl Sr. once like invented the atomic bomb or whatever the fuck. So like those things are obviously blatant jokes. But the pee, I was like, I think this man's telling the truth.
I just talked to Santino last night because he's here in town, and he's going to do my 2 podcasts on Monday. So you guys, I don't know. I have.
Every time I talk to him,
I do Hey Babe and I do Taste Buds with Joe DeRosa.
Yeah.
So he's coming on both of those.
Dude, Taste Buds is one of my favorite.
I locked him in, but he does. It's been
every
hard to book
time we
him.
talk. He's like, "Hey, we'll go out for dinner. We'll do the show." And then I'm like, "Okay."
Well, I was coming off. To be fair, I was in LA last week. I did every podcast, and after I did his, he said, "I'm coming in," and he said, "What day?" And I said, "I'm putting you on." I put him right on the.
Yes, you have to lock.
Putting you on, and he put it in the thing right there. So don't. Because it took me a while. I've been trying to come in to see you guys too, but my schedule is like it's so stupid. It's like it just is.
You're a busy man.
Yeah.
You're a busy man.
Yeah.
What do you want?
See,
but not for lack of want to come in. It's really cool to be here. It is season 39.
Season 82 of Impractical.
We always said we'll do 50 seasons, and then we'll take a time out, and then we'll do a reunion season. No, it's season 9 starts to air on June 16th. Well, it's the last 8 episodes of season 9. We started season 9 in 2019.
Yeah.
And then we start filming season 10 in 2 days. So.
And you're locked in through 11 or
through 10.
Through 10.
So after 10
seasons is such a remarkable
we'll see what
accomplishment, man.
Dude, Seinfeld did 9. So Seinfeld, if you're watching it, we know that you are. I did 10.
I was gonna say you once you hit the double digits, you're in like Sunny and Kardashian territory.
Yeah, there's really not many.
The greatest sitcom and the greatest reality show of all time.
Yeah,
which is kind of what you guys are, right? It's not really reality because you guys are like writing these jokes or scenarios, but it's reality in the sense it's not actors.
You're 100%. I just had this conversation because we get people need to describe us, and they'll say a prank show. I don't really think we're a prank show either.
No.
And people will say a reality show. I'm like, that's not really reality either. It's like it's a comedy show.
Maybe that's why it works though.
It's unscripted comedy, but we write so much of it.
Right.
Yeah. So we do whatever we will write tons, and then we'll have it there, and then also the whole rule is throw it out the window too.
Well, yeah, because you can't wedge it in there if it doesn't go.
You need to have something there in case like something's not sparking.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, I try to just be like completely in the moment because that's also like. Nothing scripted could be as good as something happening and unfolding in front of your eyes. Just like when you're doing crowd work.
90% of the time, right? It's better.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, you also are. You've ruined the internet. You've ruined people. Impractical jokes.
How so?
Yeah. There just became this prank.
Guys, just
era.
keep airing grievances with me, please. It's okay. I'm here for it.
The son of a bitch, Sal Vulcano. But like the internet went through this era of like YouTube pranks that were just I punched an old lady in the face. Like, watch how I reacted. And it's like, you're not talented. You're not writing anything. You're not funny. You're just doing outlandish shit. And unless you are like the Jackass guys, I don't think that's funny. You know what I mean?
Right. They have that on lock.
Those guys are
when we first came out, people would compare us to them. And I get it. It's just real friends doing shit. But it ends there. I could and wouldn't do what they do. No. And also, they were like a global phenomenon immediately. Like, so it was nice to be compared to them. But, But I know, like, people, like, it's so funny, like, people that don't know the show or don't really give it a chance, they'll form an opinion about it.
Always.
And I'll see
them. Which is a great place to be.
Yeah.
Right? When people, like, cause I think that's what it got with, like, Barstool, when it was like, oh, they hate us and they haven't even, like, consumed a thing we ever did.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, all right, that means we've, like, crossed all these thresholds where
it comes along with these preconceived notions for some reason. But then it's refreshing to get people to be like, you know what? All these years I didn't watch it, and then I finally did, and it was on for like 11 hours straight, and I didn't stop watching, and I get it.
Yeah.
But people will do that. They'll be like, "So what do? You do little pranks?"
Yeah, right.
They think it's like a YouTube, like I punch someone in the face and run or something. I don't know what they think.
No, as a matter of fact, like me and my comedy team come up with some of the most entertaining television of the last decade.
So much.
You assholes. But because I do think there is like it's almost like a joke in itself of like Impractical Jokers have become such a big thing. It's like, are you an Impractical Jokers fan or not? And people have an opinion without ever seeing it. And I don't really get it. I don't know. It's a weird phenomenon where it's like you get big enough that people just automatically are like, fuck that.
They have to have an opinion.
Yeah.
It was actually weird.
They can't just say,
that way,
I haven't seen it yet. I don't know.
Right.
I actually, I think I'm one of the people who have seen the fewest episodes in the world. I feel like I've somehow I haven't seen it as much as, I feel like everybody has seen.
Yeah, well, the thing is they
episodes.
play it all the time.
I heard you say it was on 51% of their airtime.
It is, because like the last time we had to negotiate, like we got that stat. And it's like, if you turn on True or like 51% of the airtime for the year was Jokers, which is also we didn't expect that ever. But it's like them replaying it that much helped us so much.
I was gonna say, so at that point the table flips. You're like, you're negotiating. Like, we technically own the network. You're negotiating with me. Why should I let you keep your fucking job?
True TV.
They've been really awesome to us.
But it's Impractical Jokers and the NCAA tournament for like the average person.
I get
so
that.
You're up there with the biggest sports tournament in the world in my mind.
Yeah, they put us on.
That's what I would say if I was your agent.
They did that. They did this cool thing for us this year where they put us on. So the NCAA was airing on TNT, TBS, and True, all live. And then this year to launch the show, we had Eric Andre on our first episode. They made a special. They played us after. That's their Super Bowl.
Right.
They played us on all stations after that, and we got I think 7.2 million viewers that night. Live viewers,
and that, I mean, for this era, like TV views is like it's like Super Bowl. It's a crazy.
Is that's like a Thrones episode?
That's something crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus. Fuck me.
So like we were like, whoa, I wasn't even expecting that, but it's so. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I like that. Like you're about to say something. I gotta stay humble. I gotta stay humble.
Offline. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was like more like a complaint. Like dirt. It was like dirt. Oh, when we cut it, I'll tell you.
Was there ever like? Part of me, I think, would maybe be concerned about like overexposure in a way. Like, were you ever like, let's not air it every, that's not aired 51% of the time?
It's not up to me. I don't mind if they air it like all the time, but I am concerned about overexposure. Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to watch the show myself.
I would never be able to watch anything.
I don't really watch it, like because I edit it, so I'll see it before it goes to the air. And I don't mean I'm sitting there like, oh my god, but no, we edit every episode. So
like those nerds who edit videos, dorks.
No, I mean I'm not there like cutting it, but like they'll send us an internal rough cut, and then I send them all the notes, then a rough cut, I send them all the notes, then a fine cut notes, and then we lock.
Okay.
So there's 4 passes of the thing. So I have to give notes on it. So it's like literally like stop at this second, cut to this angle. It's like that, like granular. So like I do it also. I see it, and then like if there's ever an episode I can't get to because I'm really busy or whatever, and I only notice on TV the things that I hate and the things I would change and the things that I don't think are funny.
Just enjoy it.
And look, we're doing this. It's like 300 episodes, 10 years. We get lost in the moment, like we get lost. Like sometimes I'm laughing. So I'm a laugher by nature, and sometimes I'm laughing so hard, and it's all genuine. But sometimes I watch it, I'm like, enough with the fucking
dude. I do that with myself.
So
I
would give them notes like, I want you to cut 50% of the laughter of us out of this, because we are the soundtrack to it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, the laugh track, I should say. So it's like but I'm like, you never can recreate how you feel in a moment.
Sure.
And I'm like,
That's not that funny.
I'm laughing
Like,
too much,
yeah.
even though I'm really laughing. So I have them cut it out. So even me, I'm like, I get some of the criticisms. Like, I don't think everything we do is funny. It'd be impossible. Can you imagine that?
Right, sure,
So there's some things I do we love, some things I do is okay, and some things I do that I fucking hate.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not funny. It never was. I wish we didn't do that. And so when some people catch a certain thing and they go, I didn't think it was funny, I'm like, I can understand that.
Yeah, right.
Like, people will tell me
You
sometimes.
wouldn't cut that?
What's that?
You wouldn't have the ability to be like, that's not funny, cut that?
Well,
or do you and the guys
well,
disagree
it all
sometimes,
depends.
or-
Sometimes it's not that because we overshoot,
Yeah.
so it's just that sometimes it's just the way it
And you
goes,
just need,
or
like, to
someone
fill
else
that
likes it
amount
and
of
I don't
time.
like
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
or
yeah.
this or that, whatever reason it nets out. And sometimes I'm like, I just don't like this, you know. And then as we go too, we do more, and then I'm more discerning like on what we do, and like I want to raise the bar and raise the. We first started, you know, it's like there's a lot of like easy jokes
Cheap
to
laughs,
make. And
yeah.
you get them out of the way, and you're like, then all of a sudden you're like, no, let's stop making these. So sometimes they sneak through still and things like
Yeah.
that. But
I mean, it's got to be impossible now, no?
To-
With just the notoriety and people knowing you guys and all that
to
shit.
film
like,
it,
yeah,
it's harder than the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you have to go?
it
I
takes
guess
longer.
you just really know where you can go. I was gonna say like, outside the city, but like there's
No, it
it's
plays
so
everywhere.
Nationally
Yeah.
popular.
We need
yeah,
the city
yeah.
because we need this much population.
Yeah.
But
if
those
you-
are also the people I think we're gonna. I guess they watch it all in
You
every
know, people, a
demographic
lot
now.
of characters here, a lot of strong personalities in New York,
Sure.
a lot of people. So if you know me, the next person doesn't know me.
Right.
But we do go through great lengths because that's the number one question I get asked.
Yeah.
Is how do you still film it with the notoriety? It's
Sure.
and it's just like we have a whole set of like things we do that we created to make sure that people don't recognize
It's
us.
also, I think there's something psychological about it where if you are in a place and a time that you
100%
don't
right.
expect to see a person at a place and time,
Yeah.
you don't register, you know?
You're 100% right, and that happens every once in a while. And I can vouch for it because people will go, "Oh, I know that show. I didn't realize it was you guys," or like, "Oh my God, it's you. I know you, and I didn't realize it was you."
Yeah.
Because if you're not looking for it,
It was when Superman first came out.
Yeah.
The one with Henry Cavill. They did that. You know, that's always been the thing with the criticism of Superman is that like
just the
everyone would
glasses
recognize
on.
him with just the glasses.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
stood him in Times Square under the Superman banner with the glasses,
Nobody
and
knows
Superman's not wearing the glasses. No one recognizes.
Yeah.
that's all.
I mean, yeah.
That's really
That-
funny.
I think it honestly just shows how like people are just like, you know, narcissistic assholes who are just like consumed by themselves and
Yeah.
they're not, you know what I mean, like not ever like, you know, realizing what's going on.
I'm not
in front
paying
of them.
attention to anything.
Yeah,
It's
right,
like-
right. It's just like I'm
always
in my
trying to
own
be more
world. just-
observant myself.
I always,
Yeah.
I always say I flip flop between too observant and not enough. There's no in between.
How about this? I was watching a spy show last night, and you know, this one guy got tailed by a spy for like miles. She said, "I've been following you since like back, you know, whatever." Do you think you would
That's a great
notice
question.
if someone was following you?
no chance.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Driving, I'd have a better shot. Walking, no chance.
because you would see like, oh, that red car has been behind me for like, you know, miles.
Driving, I would say I'll probably catch it eventually. Probably not before they kill me.
Yeah.
But
The girl I was watching with, I asked her, and she was like, I mean, unfortunately, it's different for girls. She was like, yeah, like sometimes I look at like shadows around
High
me, and I
alert,
look
for
in,
sure, yeah.
the reflection of mirror of
I get
windows
that.
and shit.
I do.
It's
If
like,
I'm
damn,
walking
that
down a
sucks, 'cause
block
I
like
don't-
late at night and there's like someone behind me, I'll always like hit my periphery, like the reflection of the
Yeah.
door or something like
Yeah,
that, the
yeah,
mirror
yeah.
of the wall.
See, I
Like
don't
I'm
do
I'm
that.
alert in that way. If someone was tailing
In
me,
a certain
I've always
session,
wanted to be
right?
tailed.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be tailed.
I
And
want
then
to try to
noticed-
lose a tail.
Yeah, you got
get on the bus and then you switch to the other bus.
I was
or
in a
whatever.
high-speed chase a couple times in my life.
What?
Yeah,
Couple times?
Yeah, a couple times. One was a real one, but then one was
Were you
like
driving?
No, on the one.
Are you a criminal, Sal?
I was one was like a like stupid college thing, but the other one was I used to play this game called Street Wars. Have you heard of it? Guys, it's the craziest thing. Okay, they might still do it. They take it. It's basically, you ever hear of the game like Assassin?
Yes.
Because I really didn't. But the point is, if you heard of it,
It's-
it's this water gun game that takes
No.
place over 3 weeks in New York City. It's been going on for like a decade. It got so popular
never heard of
they've
this?
taken it to like London and
Yeah.
like San Francisco and other cities. And what happens is it's the most brilliant thing you've ever heard. So what happens is you pay like a few bucks and you join that game, right? And so they'll take like 300 people and everyone becomes an agent. And you don't know this, but you get a person that you have to tail, and there's a person tailing you at all times.
Cool.
Over these 3 weeks, and you carry
24/7?
24/7.
What?
You carry a water gun or any type of water gun you want, anything.
Yeah.
You could have a big one, a small one, this, that, anything, right? And you basically, what happens is this one day you get an address to go to out of nowhere after you sign up. You go to this address, and it's like a street corner, and there's someone standing there, and they're like, hey, come with me. And they take you, and then they walk you to somebody else. They walk you to somebody else. It's like a movie. And then finally, someone takes you into a building, like an abandoned building, and you go up steps, and it's completely pitch black, and there's a guy in the shadows, and you walk up to him, and it's like all whiskeys, and he's like, have a shot of whiskey, whatever. So you have a shot, and you sit down, and there's lights on you, so you can't see him, and he's like the mastermind of it all.
You did this?
I did this for years.
What?
Every year, right?
Yeah.
And then he hands me a dossier, and he asked me a couple of questions, and I leave. And they schedule appointments for every player over like the week. And I leave, I open it up, and in it, I have a dossier on a person I've never met that lives within the 5 boroughs that I had to assassinate via water gun in those 3 weeks.
And is there real information, like where they live?
It's
and all
where
that
they
shit?
live.
Now, were you
where
already
they
famous during this?
What's that?
Were you already famous?
It was the very, very, very beginning, or right before it, and then maybe I did it a little bit right after it.
Okay.
So I wasn't really too well known.
Yeah.
But it was like, I think it was before, and then. But anyway, then I have this person. It's where they live, all their stats, where they work, what their routes they take, everything, right?
Yeah.
And their pictures, and so I had to carve out time in my day to tail this person.
Are you still doing your job in your everyday life, or do
Yeah,
people
you
just
go to work.
dedicate
So there's
themselves?
some rules. There's like, it's the
Okay.
square block of the address of your job. The sidewalk is a safety zone. Public transportation, bus stops and subways are a safety zone. And the square block. Oh no, not your home, because I got shot right in front of my house.
So like you can still go to work and not get shot because like you're like, I'm not playing the game right now because I gotta go to work.
No,
and, like,
you could get shot the second you are not on the sidewalk of the address of your job.
Got it. Right.
And they can go to where you hang out. And then they also hold a mixer at a bar in Brooklyn once a week where any agent can go and drink. And you might run into the person you're looking for there, or might not. You might get tailed. You might not. So they stir
like the
up
Continental and John Wick.
tension, right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
what happens is, like, you have to figure out how to tail this person, and then you have to hit them with the water gun. And it's an honor system, but and then if you do, they're carrying their dossier. They have to give you theirs, and you get your next person to kill. You have to kill at least one person a week for 3 weeks to get to the finals. So if there was 200 people and there's only like 40 people left in the finals because they didn't kill as many people, you get into the finals, and then everyone in the last 4th week, the last like 20, 30 people, whatever, they hunt the creator of the game. And whoever kills the creator of the game first wins. But I gotta tell you something. Dude, you have to understand, the feeling you get then once the game begins. It's 24/7.
Yeah.
You leave your house, and you feel, even if you're not being tailed, you feel like you're being tailed by everyone. So I've had that sensation to be looking around me at all times, wondering where it's coming from, what angles, whatnot. And one time I was tailing a guy, and he got off one of those boat parties up on like 23rd and the east side.
River, yeah.
And it docked. I knew he was going to be there. And he got in his like girlfriend's car or something, and I started following him on the FDR. And then they noticed I followed him all the way up to Yonkers. And then once they got off, they noticed I was tailing them in Yonkers, and they just took off in the streets high speed. Probably real dangerous.
I was gonna say, I can't believe this is allowed.
You can have teammates, so you can have up to 5 teammates. But if one teammate gets shot, the whole team goes down. So while you have more manpower, there's more exposure, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, this whole game. And so I high speed chase, and then finally he tucked and rolled out of a car and ran into a house and like closed the door, right? And so we parked far away, then got out on foot, and we like army crawled up this block, and there was like an old guy outside washing his car and a couple of kids, and we just were waiting. He's like, he has to come out at some time. Yeah. Dude, it was nightfall. I was telling this guy for like 9 hours, and then all of a sudden my friend goes, he ran out the back. He jumped out the back window, went in the backyard, hopped over a huge like cement wall, and then his car picked him up, and we tailed him all the way back into Brooklyn, where he went again. And then so then we lost him again, and then I got a tip. I got a hot tip because they do all this stuff too. There's informants and stuff. I got a tip that he'd be in the Fort Greene area. So I went on foot. It was like, at this point, it was like midnight. I would tell the guy from like
10 hours.
I swear to God. Like, it was when I didn't really have a job or anything.
Any life at all?
You didn't have a
Honey,
safe
I'm
zone.
coming home now.
And I tailed this guy, and on foot, I like in hindsight, it's probably very dangerous.
I was thinking,
I'm like holding a gun, like a water gun in my pocket. And I'm like walking with a hood on. I mean, definitely don't maybe don't do it. But and I saw him on foot. I chased him in Fort Greene Park at like midnight after like an 8-hour chase, and he ran and he jumped off because in Fort Greene Park it's like elevated, like the grass is like up and on from the sidewalk, and he jumped and he like fell and he rolled, and I just ran. I jumped and I just shot him like in midair. It looked like something out of a movie.
You got him though.
I got him, and then I made it to the finals, and I never killed the creator, but I almost got there. But then at the end of it all, they throw a party for every person involved, and you go, and the whole board is up with all your identities to see the circle of who is supposed to get who, and you meet the people in real life, and you have this like big drink, and then they give an award ceremony for like greatest kill, most kills, all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's called Street Wars. Shout out to my buddy Franz who created it.
Is it a prize or just like
they
fun?
give you like they'll give you like they give you money, but then they're dicks about it too. Like I think the prize money was like something like $1,000, and they brought in all pennies or something like that. And they get like a golden pistol. I won like best kill story because I tailed them 8 hours. And they gave me one of those like huge bottles of Jack. Dude,
that's sick.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
bro, that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I run around the streets of New York pulling out guns right now. That might not be a good idea. But I don't know. If you
actually,
like a green
it's
gun
like
or
not a
like
good
that.
idea. Like, but like we had like the guns are like orange and green and stuff like that.
Other than that, like I mean, that sounds. I mean, I would be terrible at it.
You're allowed to use an umbrella
as
as a shield. That's the only thing you're allowed to use. Someone could also throw a water balloon.
Like people would, at you.
That's how we killed people too. We would kill people, but we stood up on top of a building, and when they walked out, we just dropped bombed them. Yeah. But you'll see people break out in the streets with like umbrellas shooting guns at each other. Like it'll just break out, and you're like, oh, that's Street Wars. They're playing Street Wars.
I am such a nerd for this. I fucking love it.
I think I have way too much anxiety.
Oh, I don't think I could. I don't think I would do it or be good at it, but I want to like watch it. I would watch a reality show of this. You should put it on True TV. I swear to God. I swear to God, you should produce that. And I get 50%.
That is not a bad idea.
That's a fucking good idea.
50% is absurd. I think you know it's absurd.
25. 25 is not absurd. Still absurd. And you can pay me in pennies. How about that?
I think
swear to God,
we thought about it. We thought about it. It's just I think it's a really it takes a lot of manpower to cover that kind of thing.
It would have to be like 10 instead of 300 or whatever.
Yeah. But it's not a bad idea to revisit.
The same way that
Notice I said revisit.
Yeah. If you had, the same way people become like a fan of this guy on Survivor or this girl on Big Brother, like there would be fans of these people, and they would love to. I mean, watch them in their element and like. So were you trying? Were you like thinking of things that happen in the movies and shit? Like, all right, I gotta like.
Every movie trope that you've seen, like you said, you have anxiety. If you have anxiety, I do too. If you have anxiety, it's probably not good for you.
Because I can't get it.
You feel it for real. Every like tense scene in a movie that it feels like you were in it. Like you're walking down the block, you're just looking over your shoulder. And by the way, everybody seems suspicious. When you think someone's trying to get you.
Right.
So do you know how many times I like shot someone a look or said something or even like
have you ever?
Like drew my water gun on someone that like had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Can you like I can't even imagine I can't get a text from someone that just says hi. Because I'm like, what the fuck? What do you need? What do you need? Say that message.
What do you mean hi?
I get too much anxiety. Be like, what's gonna happen next? So walking around with like unknown what comes next would destroy me. So I asked, can you commit suicide in the game? Can you?
Oh man, I don't know.
Like I gave it a shot. I gave it 2 days. This is not free. My guy's taking too long to find me. Just a water pistol to the head.
Yeah, I guess if you record it and you could like, I mean, this is more. Yeah, it's like just squirt yourself down. You're like,
Are there like family men and women doing this? Like. Or is it like mostly
like
single guys who are like fucking around?
Guys and girls. Guys and girls.
Because I just the thought of like a middle-aged guy like kisses his 2 kids goodbye, like grabs his lunch from his wife and puts his pistol in his pocket. Gotta go, kids. Like he walks out of the suburban streets like.
You do. You feel like John Wick. It was guys, girls. It was a lot of people like that were creative types or like that worked in the bar scenes. Because at the time I worked in a bar.
So like
I bartended for like 8-9 years.
Yeah.
So like a lot of service industry people, they all connect. So like a lot of bars would be like. When they let out, they come to my bar. I go to their bar, and there's this whole like kind of community. Yeah.
Do you ever have like a public bar kill, like your?
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I used to throw these theme parties at my place, and the most popular one I threw, we did it like 7 years in a row, was like prom night 1984. So I would gear up, like I would go all in for this thing. Like people would have to ask people to prom, like you have to wear a tuxedo.
Love
like
it.
we had the camera people there to take like the prom photos. We would have a pregame where I would hire a limo, so the limo would make rounds to pick everybody up, like where they were, we'd have to punch, and then they'd pick them up and then drop them to the bar where the prom was happening.
Yeah.
Like it was, we really went in deep, and I would like decorate the place that you couldn't even like. It was like thousands of balloons every year, and it grew bigger and bigger. The paper used to write about it, and so one time, right in the thick of the middle of Street Wars, I did it, and I invited every assassin to it. And it was a shit show. People were getting shot all over the place.
Right, yeah.
Well, that's when we dropped the balloons off the roof.
That is
so
I was
sick.
on the roof of my bar. Like I was like, I've never been up here before. Like sometimes you ever catch yourself in a moment, like it's like 2 a.m. Like I'm in a 80s tuxedo on the roof of a building holding the water balloon. Be like, this guy doesn't know what's going on. It's like, what is my life? Yeah.
I don't have.
Can I tell you? I
that.
caught myself in a moment today, and I don't know if I ended up taking a picture. I didn't. I might deleted it because it wasn't good. I was standing in my kitchen. I had exercised this morning, and I was just in a good mood today.
Yeah.
Right? And I was standing in my kitchen.
I told you, I felt it from you right now.
The glow.
You have an energy, baby.
They're rare. So I
Yeah.
make them loud. And I was standing in my kitchen after a shower.
Sure, you're naked, weren't you?
Stark naked, eating a burrito bowl, and I was like, I'm fucking just happy right now.
Living.
Naked, the way you came into this earth. Like just with a burrito,
like
the way you
dripping.
came into the earth.
I swear to God, I took a picture. I almost tweeted just being like just for a little update, like I am just naked in the kitchen eating a burrito right now.
You didn't like the video though?
And it wasn't. It wasn't. I just took a picture. I was going to tweet the words and I had the picture, and then it just. I looked fat, so brought me back down to earth.
Oh God, yeah.
Not happy anymore.
I have that sobering thing happen to me every few days because I forget that I have Jaden Smith tattooed on me. So so on the show years ago. So in the show, like if you lose, if you
said that so casually.
yeah, but it's my life.
Yeah.
If you lose on the show, like you get like quote unquote punished. It's like it's something you endure that the other guys don't. But sometimes you lose together, and more than one person will take it at the end. And so one time, 3 of us lost, and one of the guys got to. It's usually a surprise, and so we showed up, and it's like, hey, you guys are getting tattoos today. And that's not always the type of punishment it is, but. And so the thing was that we couldn't approve it or look at it until it was done. The only thing we could do was pick the placement. So I was like, all right, I picked my left thigh because I'm like, that's going to be the thing that's most hidden, right? And so we went, and then after like 5 hours in the chair, not looking, we get up, and the camera turns on every roll bandage, and we all have to rip them off one by one. And like Murray ripped off his thing, and it was a picture of him. So we threw him out of a plane once, and he cried. He cried the whole way down. We call it cry diving. And we also say he looks like a ferret. So they tattooed a picture of a ferret skydiving on him. Ha ha ha!
That's a good one.
So
That's cool.
Q is like an old like curmudgeon he's like the cat woman, but he's a man.
Yeah.
And he has 3 cats. So like at the time, now this was 8 years ago, but they tattooed on him a picture of a cat, and it says 38 lives alone, has 3 cats. And then I peeled mine off, and it was a photorealistic, literally a photorealistic like a picture of a 15-year-old Jaden Smith. Like I mean, like you ever see like look at the tattoos and you go, that looks real.
Yeah.
That's what I have on my left of Jaden Smith.
How big?
15, like that big.
I forgot he was 15.
Yeah, so straight up, right? So then I have to live with that, right? Oh, you can just come right up. Right? So I have fun with it though. Like I have fun because people that don't know.
That's a great story. Like any tattoo is like, I feel like all tattoos are like kind of dumb. Some are kind of cool. Yeah. But they're all like, if there's one that has a good story, then it's a good tattoo.
But the thing is,
my God,
which one there's a black.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's the wait. Hold on, that's the first one.
Shit.
Yeah, hold,
Pause.
hold. Yeah. So then, like I said, I'll have fun with it. Like if people don't know that I have it, like I'll just start talking about Jaden Smith like at a barbecue, like ad nauseum, and then until someone goes, "Well, you really like Jaden Smith?" And I'll be like, "No, I'm his #1 fan." And then I go, I have tattoos of him, one of my legs, and they're like, "No," and I just pull my pants and I show them, and then they feel so uncomfortable.
I was gonna say
one because they thought I was joking and they made fun of it. So then they're like, you have to walk it back. I'm like, no, that's cool if you like him. You like him. And also, it's a 15-year-old boy. like 3 inches from my nuts. You know, like, and then so I forget I have it. So that was my point. Like every once in a while, I'll go into the shower and I'll look to the left in the mirror and I forget he's on my thigh. You know? So then, fast forward to about 3 years ago, we're making the movie. They surprise me, get in touch with him. He's in the movie, and I go crash. He was doing a movie premiere, and I go crash his premiere, and he's doing a Q&A, and I don't know he knows, and I'm like, hey, so I have it on my thigh. So the whole thing was like they made me go in there and say in front of everyone, I'm your biggest fan. I'm a diehard Jaden. And then he's like, yeah, are you? And I'm like, yeah, I will. Like, let me show you. So like, I'm thinking this is all happening. So he calls me up on stage in front of this whole movie premiere, and they just see. I mean, maybe some people knew who I was probably, but not everybody. So they just see this guy get up saying like, I'm his biggest. And then I pull my leg out, and I have a tattoo of him. The place is like, what the fuck is happening? And then he goes, yeah, that's me. He goes, that was like 6 years ago. He goes, I'm 21 now. Like, you need to update that. And then the whole crowd just is like, what? And they start cheering. And then he's like, let's go. And we leave, and we go right from there to a tattoo parlor. And
with him?
He poses for it. And then I have a 21-year-old full-color Jaden on the right thigh.
No way.
Yeah, they made me get it. So I did it. You know,
wait, so did he... Was he
stood there
in on it though, or like
he
just thought it was a cool moment? Okay, at that point
he was in on it at that point. I didn't realize until that point, and then he posed for that. That's like literally that's what he looked at.
So that's boom boom.
Boom, boom. So I have him 15 years old on the left, 21 years old on the right.
I mean, you know you're going to have to do like 30 on the back. Or something like that. Like, you got to just keep doing this until
they say like every 5 years I have to get it up. Or I'm like, I'll just put like a Smith family Mount Rushmore on my thigh and get the rest of them. You know what I mean? But it is wild.
Willow like, here, Jada there. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's also weird to explain it to like when I'm in a new relationship.
I was about to ask that. Has that been
it's like I always have to have that conversation. Like I have to talk to you about something.
Right. Like I'm going to take my
and then they think it's like going to be really bad, and then honestly, I think sometimes they think it's worse than they thought.
That's a great question. Would you rather, the person you're about to sleep with tell you they have an STD, or they have? I'm about to get intimate. I got to tell you something about myself. Like, oh no.
But there's also like that.
It's like, oh man, I was hoping you just had an STD.
If it was the clap, we can fix that. You can't fix Jaden Smith on your body. Oh man.
I think once you get to that stage, I've
you got dumb tattoos.
But I've also been into people with some pretty bad tattoos around their genital areas, and I'm like, what do you? Who fucking cares? Right? Like, I have a Sour Patch Kid on my thigh here.
I love it.
So you have like, but it's not a good one.
You know, it's funny. They literally admitted to me that what it was gonna be before they thought of the stroke of brilliance that was Jaden Smith for no reason. Because people were like, why do you have that? And I'm like, for no reason. That's the point. It was gonna be a Caesar salad.
That's funny too.
It's funny too to just have a Caesar salad, but I guess this one
is that just you love Caesar salads, or
no
reason for that? Just general.
No.
Hilarious. That is spectacular, man. That's true. That's why that crew works though, right? Like that's why you guys are where you're at.
That's why we're doing season 10.
And you guys knew each other for
we met
forever, or
same age, met as freshmen in high school, all the same year. 1990, we went to high school together. We met at 13. And now we know each other 33 years.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
that's like that's like the literal dream, right? Like you meet your best friends and you.
We've been doing comedy together since high school, but then officially we really gave it a go. We started in '99, so we've been doing comedy together for 23 years. A lot of people like just think we're friends that got lucky, but we're comics. I'm a comic.
Well, that's what's funny when people. I think part of Impractical Jokers is when you also learn that you are. It's not just like I'm a prank guy. It's like I'm a stand-up comic for a long time. I'm
we
one of the funniest goddamn people in the world.
We have like 10 shows fail before this show.
Sure,
you know what I mean. So it wasn't just like and people are always like, so how do you prank each other in real life? And I'm just like, I don't even
hang out.
I don't even think my show's a prank show. But I'm not the guy. But unfortunately, I do like press something like, so you're the prank guy. And I'm like, no.
I'm the funny guy.
We were just doing that. It's that's the thing about like really like jobs as a whole is like if you say it in a tone. Yeah, like, oh, he's a construction worker. Like what? No, I build people's dreams. But we just had Josh Richards in here, who's a very famous TikTok guy and a huge fan of yours. And we were debating what's the worst. Be like, because I have to tell people I'm a podcaster, and he's tell people he's a TikToker. Right. And like it doesn't matter. It just matters how you say it.
Right.
We said that.
You say it with your chest. It's like it's fine.
Right.
If you just describe, I think we said this before. The meanest thing you can do to someone is just accurately describe exactly what they do in a bit of a tone.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's the KFC radio guys. They take voicemails and talk on podcasts and make dick jokes. Like,
what do you do? Little pranks?
That's literally exactly what I do.
Or they call it little skits.
Yes. Little skits. One. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess I do my little skits.
Forget. What about taste buds? What I mean, describe that one. I argue with my friend about cookies.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, but it's fucking brilliant at the same time.
That's another thing. It's like we just didn't want to do like, dude, the pandemic was so annoying. Like,
I bet,
everyone gets so politically charged and everything. It's like, but it's just like we wanted to like if you know Joe DeRosa, he'll argue about anything. So we always argue about anything.
He's perfect for that.
Yeah,
show.
and we always argue about food, and we're like, this is where I want to argue like we're arguing about politics, but about food.
Yeah,
because everyone has an opinion on food, and no one's offended about anyone's opinion on food.
Yes.
So let's just fucking.
I disagree on that.
Right. Well,
you get some people who are like,
You
Domino's? Fuck you!
But in the best way.
Mention Domino's in New York. Like, you live in New York City.
You're gonna eat
You get Domino's.
Yeah.
I always
personally offended.
I get Domino's is a very one I'm passionate about. I love Domino's.
I grew up on Domino's.
Sometimes you're in the mood for pizza. Sometimes you're in the mood for Domino's. They're different things.
It's true.
I was like, oh, that's very complimentary to Domino's until you finish the sentence. that might be their slogan. That could be their slogan, dude. Sometimes you move with pizza. Sometimes you move with Domino's. We're not trying to be anything we're not here. We're not saying with pizza. We're saying with Domino's.
Yeah. It is a different thing. It's a different food.
It's like, can you slice my Domino's into 8 slices, please?
I always say this. There was one time I was coming home. I was living in Murray Hill, and I'd been at the bar.
One of my favorite hills.
Mine's handy.
Top 5 hill.
But I was living in Murray Hill, and I was coming home from the bar. I wasn't like hammered drunk, but I'd had a few beers. Probably 10 o'clock at night. I'm walking home, and I'm just tired of like the 99-cent slices, but I want pizza. I walk by Domino's. And I walked in, and there's this woman there, just like, they're very small.
Ordering Domino's in person is trash.
That's right.
I walked in, and like, she was like spooked. Like, she was like, I didn't even know people came in here.
Yeah, I haven't seen a human in 10 years.
Like, the door's unlocked? What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I was like, do you guys sell pizzas by the slice? And she was like, they're $4 for the whole thing. What are you talking about? And I was like, I just want one. She's like, we don't do that.
That would be like 45 cents a slice.
I was like, all right, never mind. I never got it. But
yeah. I had one guy. I was on the road one time, and I was like, I had like the day free, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to a movie. Like my show's later, and I'm like, I'm gonna go see a matinee, and I'm like, there was nothing. It was like I was in like on the road, like in Iowa, on the side of a highway. So I was like, all right, I'll get some Domino's and go to this. How bad is that? I'll get Domino's, and then I'll sneak the Domino's into the movie theater and eat a full pie while I watch it. So yeah, I'm meant to go to Domino's. And,
you gotta break it up into different pockets.
How are you gonna get pie in there?
What's that?
What was your plan to get the pie?
It's a really good question. I didn't think much about it.
Yeah,
I just figured like, I have my ways though.
Yeah.
I think I probably wrapped them in napkins and put napkins in like big cargo, like big jacket pockets
Sure.
or whatever. I don't remember what I did. I got it in.
It's exactly.
I got it in. But my point was so funny. Like I tell this one kid working there, looked like the biggest stoner in the world. 2 kids, but the one kid helped me, was like, yeah, and I go, I'll take like whatever pie, and I said, pepperoni, right? And it's so funny because I then waited, like behind the bulletproof glass or whatever it was, and I see him in there, and it's like they take out the pizza, it's already like kind of made, and they just add something, and they just put it on that conveyor belt, and I see him go like, I'm looking at him from the back, and I see him go like that.
They throw the sand on it and
I
shit,
just see him go like that, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, he's like passionate about his toppings. And then I left, and I go in my car, and I drive to the movie theater, and I'm parked in the movie theater parking lot, and I'm like, you know what, let me eat. That's what I was like, let me eat a few slices before I go in. And I opened it up, dude. It was the pie, and there was one pepperoni in the dead center of the pie. He threw one pepperoni down. I don't know if he was high or he was a wise ass or he thought that was going to be funny. And I opened up the box. I lost my shit. Because I was like, my mind was, it was one pepperoni.
He Emerald Lagassi'd a pepperoni. Bam!
I was like, I was like, I couldn't tell if that was the funniest thing ever. I was like, what a dick. Like, what an asshole.
That is just
I paid
like,
for pepperoni.
Yeah. No, that is just like
Paid an extra 90 cents.
I'm gonna ruin that guy's movie. I know what he's doing. He's gonna go to the movie theater
I think
and
he
sneak
was
it
so
in.
high that he was like, I'll have a pepperoni. You know what I mean? And he was
You had to say pepperonis on my pizza. Plural, please.
Yeah, he only said a pepperoni. Like he's waiting for somebody like, I'll have 40 pepperonis.
I snuck cheesy gordita crunches into the movie once. I had I had them in my hoodie pocket.
Yeah.
And I walked in and
I'm shameless, dude.
well, so what would you do in this situation? It was a very strange movie theater in Yonkers. There was like 5 rows, and that was it. It was like a really small one, and there was like a school outing.
Okay.
There was like a bunch of kids with their teacher.
Okay.
And I went alone, and I walk in, and I have cheesy gordita crunches in my pocket. And I was like, I can't do this. Like being the guy, there would have been a crunch, and people would have been looking at me and stuff.
What movie were you seeing? Like 101 Dalmatians?
No, that's what was weird. What was it?
It's like-
I think it was it was a bad movie with Ryan Gosling being an astronaut, Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon.
Okay.
I like all space
Sure,
stuff,
sure,
but
sure,
I was
sure.
like, this is a weird movie for these kids to be at, and there's gonna be the old guy eating tacos. So I ended up just stuffing my face in I went back to my car and ate them really fast and went
Really?
back.
I
should have just for the story. Yeah, for the kid. I don't know.
Feel
I
when
felt
it's,
weird.
when it's crowded and like all of a sudden I'm like unwrapping like a hoagie I bought at the deli and stuff, or like the chip.
Or you hear
it's always
like a noise that shouldn't be there. You know,
the can opening and like the chips opening is always like a dead giveaway. I wait for like an action sequence. You know?
We did that in high school, dude. We would be, because it was before, I mean, we were in high school, so it didn't matter, but like it was before movie theaters had ever thought to sell alcohol at them.
Right.
And we'd all bring in like a 6-pack or whatever, we'd bring in some beers. I remember one time we walked in, we had glass. And we all sat down and like simultaneously we all put our they were Heinekens, I think, put them in the cup holders. And the cup holders didn't have bottoms.
Oh,
so
no.
it just went,
oh no!
like 6 beers just erupted right away. Usually we bought cans, and it was that we thought we were the most inconspicuous people in the world. Like,
yep.
You always mistime it somehow.
That might be why the floor is that sick. I always thought it was just like ejaculate. Turns down a tiny
beer.
The movie theaters, dude, they bring up a weird amount of anxiety that was and stress with stuff like that. Where
you're allowed to be doing or not doing.
Like it's like and it's weird because you're taking orders from a 16-year-old.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
right?
They throw on the vest.
Yeah, flashlight and a vest and a name tag, and they have the power.
And I was like, all right, whatever this person says, I'll do.
Yeah.
But there was one time I walked in. I went to see. It was back when Movie Pass was hot in the streets,
deal.
right?
Best deal
And
in the
world.
Yeah.
I would walk by a theater every night on the way home from work. It was at our old office. And I got a Movie Pass, and I would go 4 or 5 times a week. Basically,
absolutely.
I'd go and watch a movie, whatever. As long as there were enough movies I wanted to see, I'd go every night.
Right.
And this was towards the end of the week, so I was running out of stuff, and I went to see Jumanji. And I walk into Jumanji, and it was it was packed. It was packed.
Yeah.
So maybe it was Thursday night, and it was Jumanji premiere, but whatever it was packed. And I walk in, and in my
movie
seat,
passed the Jumanji premiere. That in and of itself.
opening night, baby. Come on, you think I'm missing Dwayne Johnson opening night?
Yeah. That's what movie pass will get you.
But I go to my seat, and it's a woman's purse is on it. So I was like, I'm too uncomfortable and anxious to deal with this, so I'm just gonna go to a different seat.
Yeah.
So I just walk up to a different seat.
That whole purse game.
And
The story now.
and it was, and I'm like, whatever, like, who cares? It's not a big deal. Like, but then because we were still in the preview, so I'm kind of panicking, just hoping someone doesn't come and say, "Excuse me, you're in my seat."
Right.
And then the movie starts, and I'm like, we made it.
You're
Like,
golden.
this is easy. No one's gonna bother me now. And then, like 30 seconds of the movie, they flick all the lights on. Turn one of those 16-year-old kids comes to the front and is like, "Who isn't in their seat?" Because it was a one seat. There was a full show, and I'm like pot committed now, so I'm just like sitting there quietly, thinking like, I hope he doesn't find me.
Right.
And
scared.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
because I'm too deep
I'm
in.
gonna
now.
go to jail.
Now like the entire theater is paying attention to who it is.
He's like, we'll wait.
Yeah, right. So no, they won't wait. What they'll do is they'll come out and they'll start checking everyone's tickets.
No.
So everyone's got to.
Oh, because you had a signed seat.
It's assigned seats.
Assigned seats is the best thing that's ever happened to us, though.
Except for this one night.
Right.
And so they're coming around, and this woman, she's up on the other the left stairwell, and I'm probably 3 seats in on the right. And she's checking everyone's tickets, and she's walking down
and
aisle
you know it's
by
coming
aisle,
to you.
and I know it's gonna be. And I just got up and ran out. I just got up and sprinted down the stairs and ran out.
You're like, Shane.
And then once I like kicked the door open like a kid, like in like a coming of age movie, like leaving the high school. I kicked the door open, like I'm out. 3 employees are sitting there with the kid whose seat I was sitting in, and they go, "You're leaving the movie early," and like a 16-year-old again being like an asshole like that to me, like leaving early, like you know why I'm leaving, you son of a bitch. Give me that attitude.
Old woman's fault.
Yeah,
that's her.
Yeah, if she had not had her purse on my seat, I would have. I mean, great. Look, like I could have just been a human and been like, "Could you move your purse, please?"
No, I know what you mean, because the worst thing for me in the world, my biggest anxiety, and it doesn't happen now because of assigned seats, but is saving a seat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I get literally want to piss, shit, and vomit at the exact same time. When someone asks me to save the seat, there should be like a word for it. Like, I get so nervous because especially like when you're saving a seat, that's when the shit hits the fan. Because it's like it's already packed, and when it wasn't assigned seats, nobody wants to sit in that front row. And everyone's scrambling in the last minute. You know, when the thing goes down, they start and everything starts, and you're like, you don't want to be like, because then like you're like put your hand out, and it's like we can't sit there. I'm like, someone sit. You know, I get so nervous. I used to tell people like frazzled, like things they didn't even need to know. I'd be like, sorry, so my nephew, he has Crohn's. Like I would just be like just offering information. I get so befuddled.
My mom had sent me out a couple times, maybe 3 years this happened, to save like a pew at Christmas church. Like Christmas mass. But she was like, go early.
That
and
is
it was like
wrong.
me,
We both had visceral reactions to that.
Wrong.
And it was like, you want to find the most vicious people in the world. Find Catholics on Christmas
God's
Eve.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. and I've got like, I brought my jacket, an extra jacket, a hat, a scarf. I'm taking off one glove here, one glove there. I'm taking a shoe off. I'm just trying to like spread out as many items as I can. And I'm sitting in the middle being like, no. I mean, I was like, we're never. No,
and they don't give a shit that you're in church too. If you get someone pissed off, they'll fight you in church.
The most despicable behavior you'll ever catch is they'll cut your fucking throat, man.
My heroes ran the Crusades, so you think I'm gonna let this go easy? You fucking nuts.
Anyway, I don't want to keep you too much longer, but we do got to talk about Chrissy D. Chrissy D is we're huge DeStefano fans over here.
Yeah, me too.
And
his special out on Netflix right now called Special. Give him a plug there.
What a fucking guy.
Yeah, we do a podcast called Hey Babe, which I mentioned before. Yeah. So Taste Buds is with DeRosa. We do Hey Babe. It's been good. We started it over the quarantine.
Yeah, you guys are just friends through comedy.
Comedy, friends through comedy. We and Chrissy toured a lot together too, doing stand up.
Just a couple New York guineas getting
exactly right. And then we were just like, for years we were trying to start one. We actually tried. Me, him, and Tim Dillon tried to start one a few times.
Oh, wow!
But we just couldn't get it together. We tried like 5 or 6 times. Then Tim moved, and so we were like, oh, let's just do one together. And then we started it I do it out of my house.
Yeah,
and then DeRosa too. Right, and it's
so Chris comes to you for yours.
They both come to my house because my
schedule. Nice notoriety.
My schedule
seniority, I mean.
No, you know what it was? It was like, if we want to do this, I can do it, but I have so little time that I had to, and I had the extra room for it. Yep. And they were like, perfect, so we don't have to rent the space because now Chrissy lives near me anyway. So it's like, so we do it there. We threw it up on like, I didn't know because I used to do one called What Say You with Brian Quinn from Jokers, and it was like really popular. We started in like 2013, but it was audio only. But now the wave of it is like is YouTube.
Yeah,
so we started like the No Press channel. We put it on YouTube and on audio, but it gets just as much on both. So it's kind of cool, but it is like a little bit different because, you know, it's different when you're being filmed. Like I used to be able to like just sit at my kitchen table with Q with a mic and not even. But now it's like you have to like.
We actually
You have to be on.
We got lucky because we started before like podcasts. Podcasts were definitely a thing, but ours was always recorded on video, and like they went on YouTube right away.
We started in 2012
because we didn't we didn't live together. Like we all lived in different cities,
so we did.
So
we
started to be on Zoom,
Google Hangouts. Then we did Skype. We did everything.
Oh, like back when Skype like was first, like
yeah, man. I mean, I can hear the music in my head, dialing in. So we always recorded that way, then ripped the audio, put it out on audio.
Oh, right on.
And in the beginning, we also did YouTube as well.
Damn, what episode number is this for you guys then?
Couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, I think next week is our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, congrats! That's sick.
No, it's been a long
time.
Talk
about you're in a small club too. There's not many people that have 10 years of pods.
It's very, very rare that we meet people.
Think of the company you're in. Yeah.
I know, like some of the obvious like OGs, and then I know I think Bobby Kelly predated us by
you know what
bit.
Too maybe your mom's house, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, they were early on the game. And
Q actually is on one called Tell 'em Steve Dave. They've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah,
but you're like, I mean, I can only name maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, I know.
97% of them don't get to episode 2.
Yeah, it's crazy.
90% of podcasts don't get
millions
to episode 2.
exist, but like 30 matter.
Right.
It's a crazy. I love it. I mean, I was about to say it earlier in the conversation. Like, I never in 1 million years would I have thought that in this interview we would have talked about an assassin game.
Yeah.
Like, and it's all because I said what I was watching a show last night. Do you think you could, the places you go on a podcast are fucking incredible. But it's also so weird because it's like if you told me to go up to someone at a bar or a restaurant or an event and say, go just have an hour-long conversation with them, I'd be like, are you fucking crazy?
Oh, I know.
I won't even say hello to them.
Yeah,
nuts. I'm going to sit in the corner.
You could do it with my best friend. Go sit down and have a talk for an hour.
Right. What are we going to talk about?
Yeah. Right.
I don't want to be in that position.
Right. Yeah. But you give me a mic and a guest and
same.
And I just expect you to give and take a little bit, and then we're good. As long as it's you'll play ball with me, I could talk for apparently 10 years. I could just keep fucking
going.
The
deal. Oh, you guys have I know, and I know from doing it too. It's like when someone comes on and like the hour flies by because you're not trying because it's just easy,
and it's not QA. It's
right, but then there's a whole. Then there's like when you guys got to work for it, just like when I got to work for it on stage, or when I got to work for it like with the pod, where it's like pulling teeth.
Yes,
dude, it's
like God damn, man, talk to me, man.
I love the times like. We're so gracious, thank you. Take a picture. They go. The door closes. And we both go. And the whole room knows it. Like, we'll stash that for a couple mics. Like, we'll have to hide.
I'm gonna leave a GoPro in here when I leave. Just to see what happens.
There's an art to it. There really is. It's like you got to. There's talent is the word.
It is weird too. Like it is one probably the most popular phrase of all time. The time flies when you're having fun, whatever. And like I saw you get a text on, I saw what time it was. I was like, we've already been in here for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I would have guessed it's been 10 minutes.
It's for real.
Yeah, we'll probably have to wrap it up in a minute, but yeah, Chrissy and Hey Babe has been like a phenomenon, right? I mean, were you obviously just so successful and you don't need to do any of this stuff. Were you like, was that a passion project, or was that like let's go try to make some money and blow it up, or was that just like?
No, it was more of a passion thing. Yeah. I mean, like, first, like I said, we were trying to do it for like 2 years. Like we started touring together, and we would cry laughing on the road together in the hotel rooms and backstage, talking about all these stories. And I'm like, we should just do a pod. And he's like, absolutely. So it took 2 years or so to actually, or even maybe 3. And then it was like 2018, maybe the end of 17 when we were talking about it. And then the pandemic. And I was like, I wasn't filming, I wasn't on the road and everything, and I was like, this is the time to do it. Yeah. And it can't go away. I didn't know how long the shit was going to last, and how long everything was going to be shut down. So it's like, I could do this every week without fail. So that was part. It was like now the perfect timing to do it, and then it was just more to just have fun and then just to have something in the pocket too. But now everything's back, and it's like crazy because now I have the 2 plus everything. Right. So now it's like we really have to try to fit it in. But I love it so much that and I didn't expect to make money on it, but we're making some money on it now too. We have our sponsors and things like that. So
Taste Buds is unbelievable. We used to have a guy on our show called Big Cat. His last name's Feidelberg, so we called it Cat Fights. It was the same premise. 60 seconds. I give you the 2 topics ahead of time. But the clips that come out of that, and DeRose is so perfect for it because he's such an asshole about it all. But like the passion behind, like, are you single stuff? Are you fucking kidding me? Whatever it is, people get passionate about it. But you both do it well.
Is Joe pro or anti single stuff?
Whatever it is.
I'm a huge single stuff guy.
Yeah, I think
so.
He's anti-Oreo.
Double stuff too much.
He's a Chips Ahoy.
That's crazy.
That was the beginning of it, right? Yeah, it was Chips Ahoy versus Oreo.
We argued about that for years. Like we argued about it on a cruise, and then a couple of summers ago, we were in a pool. And we started arguing about it, like passionately. Arguing. And then we started arguing everything big over a cinnamon raisin. And I was just like, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then we were like so mad. We were like laughing. I'm like, should we make this a podcast?
Yes.
And he was like, I would do that. I'm like, I'll do it. Yeah. And then like that day, we just thought of like 100 things. Like, let's just do it.
That's the thing about it too, is it's like, it's evergreen. And
we were going to call it a food fight. We went through all these names. And then like, we thought of Taste Buds and we were like,
boom.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, the dramatics that you'll hear, like, you know, it'll be like, do you think that the founding fathers wanted it to be like, you know, whatever. And, like talking about SpaghettiOs, man.
Right. That's the best part.
That is also. I was gonna say
it's the most fun part, I should say, for us.
Like, because it's not political and it's not this and it's not that. It's just goofy, but there is passion. We do a show, and actually, if you have time,
did you just get electrocuted?
I don't know what that was.
I saw you go like that.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to dial 911?
If you do have time, we'll pop over to do this YouTube video because
sure.
It's called Answer the Internet, where it's the stupidest questions, dumb hypotheticals.
Yeah.
And but I always say, like, if you can take it seriously without taking it seriously, you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
And that's when internet magic and podcasting fun happens. It's like, this doesn't really matter, but because there are people on the other side screaming like, "No Oreos!" And, you know, because everyone can relate to that. So it's brilliant. I mean, all of it's.
It reminds me of. I actually told you this yesterday, but I was watching Norm Macdonald's new special on Netflix.
I gotta watch that.
And he has a little bit in it where he's talking about the opinions these days, and he's like, when I was growing up, everyone had 6 opinions. Sometimes you run into a guy with 8 opinions. You go, God damn, that guy's opinionated. he goes, but guess what? They were all about food. That is where people have like their strongest opinions.
1000%.
Yeah.
Especially the Italians.
Yeah, we get that feedback too. People come right up to us like, you don't understand. My whole family that watches it and we all argue. Or people like, I listen to it on the way to work or on my lunch break. It's like
very funny.
And they all have like, they say like, I shout at the you know, the radio or the TV. Because like they're like, you just. It's like they're part of the argument.
Right.
Are you fucking nuts?
We did that just yesterday. We were talking about something like fairly serious, and then as a joke, while we were talking about something serious, I was like, it's like if I said like dark chocolate's better than milk chocolate, like you wouldn't get that. And he was like, "Whoa, what'd you say?"
Yeah,
and
actually, that's not a bad one.
It derailed us, and I'm very I say that. At some point in your
snob about it.
In some point in your
says
life,
that dark chocolate is like, you know, you're mature. Fuck you.
Yeah, at some point in your life, you just flip and you're like, wait, dark chocolate's way better. I can't even eat milk chocolate anymore.
What side are you on?
I like both, but I understand what you mean. I didn't like dark chocolate until I got older.
Right.
I didn't even understand its value.
Yeah.
I was like, this is terrible. How is this on the market?
Disgusting chocolate.
Now I love dark chocolate.
More than milk chocolate?
Well, now milk chocolate feels a little too sweet.
Yep.
So I need it in moderation. But you know that's
milk
just
chocolate is like the king though. Like if I give you a chocolate chip cookie, you don't want it to be dark chocolate.
Yeah. Well,
no, but that's I don't know about that. I'm a bar guy. I'm not a pastry guy, so I'm a candy guy. So when I come in, I'm talking about
when you
get
like
your Lindt chocolate,
Milky Way
dark bars.
Like, fuck that. Give me the original.
No, they call it midnight.
Disgusting.
Just so you know.
Disgusting.
Well, different levels of dark too. You could buy that one that's 99% dark. It's just like a fucking rock.
Yeah.
It tastes like nothing.
Yeah,
it's like bark.
I like low test.
Those, you know, the fancy chocolates are always dark, filled with like almonds. I'm like,
oh, like in a Russell Stover's
throw them out.
I want the dark ones with the raspberry.
Throw them out.
Yeah, Russell Stover's is tough though.
Russell Stover's is.
I don't like taking the risk.
That is the fakest, not fancy, but you think it's fancy.
100%.
Yeah, shout out Russell Stover's.
Promo code KFC for. But yeah, no, that I like to know what I'm getting. I don't want to have to read a fucking chart.
I did a whole bit on this one. The yellow box one. It's like not even Russ. Like one.
Well, they had like the little wrapper, like almost like a elastic thing around it.
It's a
big bar. The
no. Like it's like a yellow box.
Yeah, I know.
At CVS. It's like Russell Stover's.
Oh,
it's
a G.
I know what you mean now.
Come on.
It's
I want to say Gentos.
Oh, I can't leave without us not. I literally did a sketch on this that lives online.
I can picture it. I know exactly.
Oh god,
it's got like a white trim, maybe.
It's a box, and you take off the top. It's yellow, and it has like a border around it.
Yeah,
okay.
And it almost looks like
it's.
Yeah,
Whitman.
Whitman sampler.
I was gonna give you guys hints to see if you can get to it, but yeah, that's another one.
Genthers is close.
What'd you say?
I said Genthers.
Someone gave me a 10-pound box of that because I did a sketch on it that they liked it, and I brought it home. It was wrapped. It's still in my house wrapped. I don't know what to do with it.
You know what? I don't know if this is what you were thinking of, but was that why you said Garoda, or is that just by chance? Because that's a G.
Wait, no, Whitman's. So okay, Whitman's is a sampler of chocolate.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, wait, I was saying Genthers. Okay, yeah. No, that's not what I was thinking of.
Genthers.
No, yeah.
That should be.
Genthers.
Let's get into the chocolate business too, man. All right, so let's go next door. We'll do our YouTube video. But and Anything specific you want to plug? I mean, you're
I'm on
all
tour.
of it. I mean,
I guess so. Joker starts up
Another
again
10 minutes.
Thursday nights. So we'll do another 5 minutes. No, Joker starts Thursday nights. I don't know when this is coming out.
Probably next week.
Okay, so it starts June 16th every Thursday night. We actually start filming season 10 next week. I'm on tour. I've been touring all year. I still have another
all around the country.
All around the country, and then I'll next year hopefully get to the UK as well.
Do you bounce back, like come back to, like, are you on the road, like you stay in hotels a lot?
So what I'll do now is weekends. Okay. But like when I have more time, I'll do like bus tours. So I'll do like 3 weeks at a clip, like 3 times a year instead of doing like every single weekend. Right now I'm doing every weekend, but I have Vegas coming up, Portland, Seattle, Syracuse. I got Milwaukee, Minnesota. I'm just everywhere right now, you know.
Incredible.
SalVulcanoComedy.com and
good
then
for you.
Taste Buds and Hey Babe.
If I got Impractical Jokers, I would just be Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm done.
Kevin, I got KFC Radio and decided I'm done. So I think Impractical Jokers would make me decide. I'll just do this.
The way I was raised, man, I just feel like I can have nothing tomorrow. I'm like, I will take every job.
You still feel that way? Because like 100%. We are desperately trying to take some time off. And we just won't do it.
That's important.
I know, but we're always convinced that like we're gonna stop and someone's gonna pick up a new show on Tuesdays and Thursdays and never come back. And
that's exactly how I feel. There's someone waiting right behind you. Mm-hmm. You're not hustling the way you had to hustle. So I had to learn to say no. But like even right now, like I'll take a break like every couple of years, like when I have a nervous breakdown. That's when I take my break. I swear to God.
When I have to go away to a spa for a few weeks.
When your body physically won't allow you to do it anymore because you're harming yourself so much mentally and emotionally. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so come see me on tour at the Hoot.
Who knows how much longer it's going.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be fast, so that's it.